a winner and say why.
I think the 49ers are going to run the ball a lot, and I think they could win as long as they stick to the run. If they get out of their element like last week and in their previous losses, then I think it's an easy Packers win, similar to what Seattle did last week to them. But if they run, I think the Niners will win. My score prediction, it's out there, and it'll be wrong, I'm sure, but 31-21 49ers.
Oh, wow.
I think Hasty gets a lot of touches. I think the Packers have a really bad defense. And besides Jair Alexander and Zadarius Smith, they don't have any way to stop anyone. So if the Niners run like they did in the NFC Championship, they can't stop the Niners.
How you beat those other corners is on vertical routes. And they don't really have that wide receiver there to do that. Trent Taylor's not getting vertical for you. James can, but how healthy is he going to be? That's the question. And so
how dare you doubt Richie James Jr.?
I like Richie James. I would like to see him get more snaps.
He'd have to be cut off at the hip to not have
Middle Tennessee. I know about him. And his backflips are amazing at the end of the game.
I'm just playing.
Leo's from Middle Tennessee. That's why.
Yeah. That's your first cousin, Richie James Jr. What's up?
It is. And so then, you guys always interrupt me, man.
I'm so sorry.
Jose, tease you.
Mute him. Thank you. And so then, with the 49ers, yes, that's the key to beat the Packers is you got to run the ball. But the major issue here is there's no Kittle for the outside zone block. And now you're asking Ross Dwelly to block against the Smith brothers, which Ross Dwelly is pretty good. He's gotten a lot better than what we've seen him initially. But can we trust him for 4 quarters to block the Smith brothers on an outside zone scheme? It's not really going to happen. And then JaMychal Hasty, he's a good runner, but you want him outside of the tackles. Inside the tackles, the jump cuts aren't really there. It's going to be a lot harder. Thank you. And so I think it's going to be a real struggle on a short week with not much of a power running back. Your 3 running backs are JaMychal Hasty, Jerick McKinnon, tired legs, and then Walter, who is 5'8". So that's where they're going to struggle, is not having that guy just to pound this defense. And I'm going to go on forever. And
you're still muted.
You're muted now. I got the Packers in this one, probably 27-17.
All right.
Ooh, I actually want to get
10-point victory for the 7-point underdogs. Woo! Hey,
I think the Niners are going to win this one, like a 28-27 type of game, or maybe. I don't see any more higher because I feel like Thursday night games always end up in like either a one-sided game or it's always a close because everyone's slow. I just think because they're just going to throttle them with Hasty, and once Hasty gets established, then hey, here comes Nick. I have no problem taking shots because I have no trust in any. I have no trust. Excuse me. I have no reason to be discouraged in that Packers secondary, especially without King. And then Dwelly, like I know, like Grant likes to be like, give more to Ross Dwelly. Like, hey, you're right, do give more to Ross Dwelly because Nick Mullins pointed him out in his presser, and that's a player where he definitely has connection with. I just feel like it's just there for the taking for him. I feel like Thursday Night Magic is there for him so long as Shanahan doesn't call any like, what are you doing? Like, I like calling Wildcat because it's a good play. Well, apparently not. So it's just I think they'll win this game. It'll be a lot closer because I don't have trust in the pass rush. But I still think they have that good coverage. I think it's going to be the 49ers there for the taking.
I'm going with the 49ers in this game too. And the reason is, if you go back and you look at the game in 2018 in Green Bay, in Lambeau Field, C.J. Beathard puts up 30 points with who were receivers that day? Pierre Garçon and Marcus Goodwin.
That's right.
Those aren't any better than what the 49ers are going to put on the field on
it's true.
Tomorrow night. And also, George Kittle wasn't George Kittle really in 2018 at that point in the season when they won that game. He started busting out later when Nick Mullins took over. So I really like the 49ers in this one. Short week. I like what Mullins brings to the table and the ability to throw the ball down the field. And he's going to actually be able to – we're actually going to have a quarterback that's going to be reading a defense for a change. I really like this one.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, I'm not concerned. I'm not as concerned about the Niners offense, even though they're missing everyone. Like, I actually think right now Nick Mullins gives them a better chance to win than Garoppolo because Garoppolo's injured and he's not playing well ever since the game against the Vikings in the playoffs. I mean, really, going back to about then. That wasn't good. So I think at least you have a guy who isn't in his own head, is willing to throw the ball down the field. He's not perfect, but at least you got that, and you still have the run game. If they win, it's going to be because of the run game. I'm more concerned about the defense. They're going against Aaron freaking Rodgers, and they don't have their pass rushers. We saw what happened to the defense last week. If they get behind, I mean, they can give up 37 points because they're playing a bunch of backups. So if Jaquiski Tartt comes back, that could help. I'm not saying it's going to be a high-scoring game because we know the Niners, their game plan on offense is going to be to run the hell out of the ball and try to keep Aaron Rodgers on the bench. That's the best defense in this game. But I think it's going to be really close. I think it could be, I don't know, 24-21 Niners, 24-21. But I have zero conviction in that prediction.
Got to be old school offensive game for the 49ers. Feels like just run it and just
Thursday night football, pound it. And one more thing, schematically, like we saw, they really got away from the whole jet sweep end around thing. If Richie James plays, that's two guys who can do it. I mean, neither one is Deebo Samuel, but you can't abandon that part of your run game because it's what makes it special. More than even Kittle to me. I mean, it's great having Kittle out there blocking, but the whole misdirection thing is what makes the Niners running game them. And if you just give up on it, like to be like, hey, Jermichael, go get him, buddy. Like, what are you expecting? So
I'm the lone wolf here on this. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that chose the Packers.
Well, and you're probably going to be the only one who's right. I don't know why I picked the Niners.
Like, I want the Niners to win, but I just look at it like we can compare that 2017 game. The Packers didn't have the Smith brothers. They didn't have Kirksey at linebacker. They didn't have Adrian Amos at safety. So their defense is a lot more upgraded. And I keep wanting to call him McKenzie.
But that same defense didn't do anything.
Jair Alexander is a lot better than what he was because I think he was a rookie in 2017. He was actually in college in 2017, so they didn't have him either.
The problem with the Packers defense. Oh, what's that?
Who was the 49ers starting cornerback opposite Richard Sherman in that game, though?
Greg Maben.
Yeah.
Oh, corner?
And that's
Did you say corner or quarter?
He lost the game. He pulled a Brian Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was...
that was
worse. That was worse
than Dante Johnson.
Because the 49ers should have won that game, so that was worse than Brian Allen's performance.